There are just green tomatoes all over the place. Look at them. They're just gorgeous. Got my one little purple tomatilla. Look at these big, beautiful things. Just gorgeous.
Hello everyone and welcome to Simply Made Homestead. I'm Marian and today I've got to work on my tomatoes a little bit. We are in Central Florida, Zone 9, so we get started a lot earlier than a lot of you folks around the country and in other regions. So if you haven't subscribed, we'd love to have you along. We have a big garden season here in Florida. And I've already started my tomatoes about a month ago. But today I want to show you how I start my tomato seeds. And it just gives me such a head start because even though we have a very long growing season here in Florida, we also have an extremely hot summer with lots of moisture in the air, which means a lot of disease, a lot of pests. So we don't want to grow in the summertime. There are only a few crops that we will grow through the summertime. But I like to be done and start on things like sweet potatoes do well in the summer, peanuts, always grow peanuts in the summer, and we'll be doing all of that this year. So the first thing we do, I love solo cups. Now, I get mine in a huge package at Costco, Sam's. If you have a member of any of those big box stores, you can get them for a good price there. Find them at the dollar stores and all like that. I'll leave a link below for you. If you are where it's hard to get to a store, you may have Amazon you can order from. So I'll put a link down there just in case. Now I do use seed starting mix and I try to get organic whenever I can find it. I fill the cup about half full. Now let me backtrack just a little bit. This soil is moist. Dry soil is really hard to get wet, fresh soil. And it takes a lot of water. Like this bowl right here, I literally took it to the sink. I turned my water on, full blast, and I just let it run and I counted to 6. Now that may sound a little weird. You can start with 4, whatever works for you, however fast or slow you count. But that's what I did. And then I just mixed it all around with my hands, really, really good. And you can see, I mean, it's not sopping wet, but look at that. See how it kind of firms, holds? That is perfect soil to plant your seedlings in, or even when you're transplanting. It just kind of gives it a little bit of a head start. All right, so I've got a half a cup there. We're going to just kind of smooth it out across the top. I have tons of tomatoes, but I love these Homestead ones. I love a lot of different tomatoes. The Brandywines, the Abe Lincolns, San Marzanos. So I'm just gonna drop a couple right there on top. Because you know, there's nothing wrong with having a few more tomatoes, right? As long as you can find somewhere to put them. And then I just mash it down very gently into the soil. Because when you plant any seed, you want to plant them, the depth that you want to plant them is twice the size of the seed. So you have that tiny little seed, all you have to do is barely press it down into the soil, and then you kind of cover it up. You firm around it, you never really pack it, okay? Because that will keep it from being able to sprout. But you need that contact. The seed needs contact from the soil on the bottom and the top. Every now and then you'll find a seed where it'll tell you just throw it on top of the soil, give it light, and it will germinate. But there's not a lot of them like that. So read your package and see. But on tomatoes, you just put it on top, kind of press it down there, press it with my finger a little bit, cover it up with a little soil, and the soil is already nice and moist. And then I will put it on, in my little tray, on a heat mat, okay? Make sure you use a heat mat. It really helps you. It'll help get you going, get you started, and especially with peppers. Oh man, Now, I have one here that's grown up a little bit. Now, I would probably wait till it got a little bit bigger, but I don't know. Let's go ahead and do it. We're going to go ahead and do it. Because you see how it was only half up in the cup? Well, I'm going to go around the outside of it very carefully, like that. And I'm just going to bring the soil up. I'm going to bring the soil up to the tomato. Bring my tag up so I don't lose it. There we go. Nice moist soil. Don't need to water. Look at that. See that? See how it's right there? Just underneath the leaves. Okay? Now, you see how I have 2 leaves on there? I want to give you another tip. Once I have 4 leaves, when you have your second set of leaves, which means you'll have 4 leaves total, that's when you want to fertilize with a liquid fertilizer. And you want your strength of your fertilizer mix to be for indoor plants, because these will still be inside for a while underneath the lights behind me. I don't have them on because they were so bright, it just darkened out my face where you couldn't even see me. So here's another one. That one right there was a better boy. I've planted several different varieties, but my main variety that I've planted for canning and for making sauces and salsas and things like that, I'm planting the Abe Lincoln this year. Last year I planted the San Marzano, which I love both, I really do. But Abe Lincoln last year, I had a couple of those. They just did really well. And I thought, you know what? I'm gonna plant a whole bunch of those this year and we're gonna see how that goes. Because I'd love to make ketchup. I've never made ketchup. I really wanna make ketchup. I have gotten to where I'm really looking at labels. If you go to the store and really look at labels, man, oh man, it can be some scary stuff. So I really want to start making more and more of my, because I already make my own marinara and my things like that. So I want lots and lots of tomatoes this year. So anyway, you see how that one, you see how, it's kind of hard to see, isn't it? But you see how it's kind of grown up in there? So I'm gonna just bring a little soil. And what that does, tomatoes, they grow roots from their stems. I mean, yes, the seeds start their roots, they'll grow nice and long, but they grow out from the stem. And that's what gives them all their strength. And it just makes them really strong and really healthy, because all of those roots, they pull nutrients into the plant. And the more soil that it has around it, the more roots you're going to have. The more nutrients and moisture and everything that tomatoes need, it's gonna get. See? Now just above the leaves right there. I'm gonna pull my tag up again because so I know what I've got there, so I can plant them in where I want to plant them. My husband built a new tomato trellis that we use just for our heirlooms. I'm going to put, let's see how many, I think I have room for 27 tomato plants, I believe, out there that he built last year, and it worked out absolutely fabulous. So I will link that for you below too if you want to check that out, and on how he did that. It really is super cute in the garden, and most importantly, it worked out really, really great. It really, really did. And I'm going to be using that for my Abe Lincolns. And for some of my others, like my Brandywines, and I've got a green zebra here, my Better Boy, and those things, I am going to be trellising them a little bit different this year. I haven't decided exactly just yet. Now, right here, I had some of my tomato seeds that didn't come up as soon as some of my other tomato seeds, and they were all planted at the same time. I got a little stressed. I was like, oh my gosh, because you know, I've had my seeds for a while. I thought, oh, I need all these tomato plants. So I went in and stuck more seeds in, and you see that. So those I'm gonna have to separate. And so I need to gently get them out of this cup, without messing up my little tomatoes. And you see all the roots already? Just from those little bitty tomatoes. They make a lot of roots. So, and if you're watching this video and you're not from this area, if you're from up north, guys, this is perfect because you can get a head start. You can learn how to do these things and be prepared for when it's time for you to get started. Probably should have put that one down a little bit deeper because that is one long little seedling right there. So I'm just transplanting the seedlings. So you have to be super, super careful when you're transplanting tomato seedlings. All seedlings, but especially these long leggy ones. See that long stem? Don't grab it by the stem. If you grab it by the stem, it can damage and break super, super easy. So I'm just going to separate all of these out. You can see here, that was kind of high up, a little higher than I would have liked, but I'm gonna leave it because I've got it, so, and I've got tons of these. Let's see, I need tags for you. So let's get another one going here. And these are cups that I used last season. Okay, nice and gentle, see the roots? I put soil about halfway up in my cup, and then I kind of just set the roots down in the soil. I wish I could show you that. I wish I had a camera overhead, but I don't, guys, I'm sorry. You just very gently, just be gentle and slow. That's what they always tell you when handling bees. Just be nice and slow and move slowly and patiently. It really does help. So, and I'm just gonna continue sprinkling soil around, and you can see, I see my second set of leaves coming. It's so exciting. I like it when we get to fertilize because then they just get that little extra kick. And plus we're starting to get warm weather. It's been so cold down here. I don't know if I'm sure everyone has heard we had record-breaking snow, not down here in North Florida, from where I'm from. And like 8 and 10 inches of snow. I mean, seriously, that's just crazy. But can you see that? See the little second set of leaves on there? They're so tiny, you may not. But there we go. So that's all you do. All right, guys, I'm not gonna make you sit here and watch me transplant all these plants, but that is all you do. I've got one more here and I got a whole bunch behind me. So I'm just gonna keep moving on and just keep adding that soil. All right, guys, it's that easy to get your seedlings started and get them growing, to give them that really good, healthy start before it's time to get them in the garden. We want to do all we can to get them going. And like for us, we have the hot weather coming, so we want to get them going and get them producing and get our harvest quickly. All of you in the north, where your summers are much shorter, you need to get them going, get them strong, get them ready for the garden so you can produce quickly before that cool weather hits. We lived in upstate New York for 4 years, so I understand what it's like. I have actually experienced it. It was the hardest thing I ever did, having to wait till Memorial Day to start a garden. But anyway, this is a good way to start it. Make sure you use your heat lamps, have some really good lights. If you can get the grow lights, get the grow lights. We have the regular shop lights, but make sure you get the 5,000, at least minimum of 5,000, whatever it's called, I forget. But so you have good light, and keep your plants nice and close to the lights. Some of mine, I really need to lower my lights back there, but it does help them, keeps them from getting quite so leggy. So, all right, guys, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. I love to hear from you. I'll do everything I can to help you along the way, and share us with your friends, family, and all across social media. And share us with your friends, family, and all across social media. and share us with your friends, family, and all across social media. I'm sorry, but I had to say it 3 times because I kept getting tongue-tied. Apparently it's time for me to go. All right, guys, until next time, take care and God bless.